Hey everybody, welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the altcoin show, coming at you daily, 6 days a week. I want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. And today we're going to talk about how to trade the golden cross like a boss. Now, we've just had the golden cross on Bitcoin. We're going to talk about what that is, how to spot it, and how you can trade it in just a moment. This is going to create some life-changing gains for some people. But before we do that, of course, as always, if you're a regular watcher, you know what I'm going to say. Smash that like button. This does help get this content out to more people and does help support the channel. I really appreciate all the kind words and encouragement that people leave in the comments below. I do read every single one of those and respond to those. And of course, the questions that are there, I do also get back to as soon as I am able to. And don't forget about the cheat sheet. I get asked all the time where this is. This is in the description below this video. It is the very top link of the description that is below this video and every video that I put out. So it's easy for you to find. This is my roadmap to this bull run success. Check that out. So before we jump into the golden cross, we're going to have a look at what has happened just recently with Bitcoin. If you haven't seen my video from earlier today, a couple of hours ago, I talked about Bitcoin and the golden cross, and you can see here from El Crypto Professor has stated here, Bitcoin, I think that's big. Heck yes, it is big. The golden cross happened recently for Bitcoin. Send everything. And so if we quickly look here, we see where there was the Bitcoin golden cross. In this case, it's the thick gold line going above the blue line. It is the 50-day simple moving average crossing over the top of the 200 simple moving average. You can see the last few times where it has occurred, we have seen some power. Oh, look, it happened back the last time in October 2023. And look what happened. We've come into October 2020 more because I'm expecting more from Bitcoin here. And certainly you can see that it has crossed there. The 50-day is going above the 200 simple moving average. And are we going to see this kind of parabolic move like we saw in February and like we saw in October, February of 2023 and October of 2023? I believe we're going to see the same here in October of 2024. So first of all, we're going to go to a few coins where this move has already happened and this move has already taken place. So let's look at this here with SUI. Now SUI, the golden cross happened where the 50-day moving average, this thick blue line, I have it in blue, and the thin light blue or teal line here is the 200 simple moving average. So with the 50 simple moving average crossing over the 200 simple moving average, that's the golden cross. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing to know about the golden cross and how to trade the golden cross like a boss is going to be that we see that it's a lagging indicator. Okay, so by the time the golden cross happens, SUI has already gone up from 46 cents to around $1.60 on the day that it happens, about $1.65 to $1.93, the low of $1.65 and the high of $1.93. So it's already put in the majority of the move. So you've got to get in it before it happens. And where could have you known to get in it? It would have been here on the Tribal Trades channel if you've been watching since May or any time between late May when I launched the channel and now. I have had SUI on my cheat sheet. I had entry levels there. I even added it as a swing trade. I was sharing about it when it was down here in the 40-cent region. This would have been a great time, obviously, to get in. But if you didn't get in there was three opportunities. One here on the break of the 50-day moving average. I gave this trade at about 78 cents. Gave it again at around 82 cents. Gave it again as we broke through again a third time at about 85 cents. I gave it again at the 200 EMA on the daily at around 99 cents. And I gave it again here at the $1.10 region on the break of the 200 simple moving average. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And the 50-day moving average, the 200 EMA, the 200 simple. There were three chances, last chances to get in this trade. because we could see that the golden cross was coming. We could see the 50-day was moving up, the 200 is moving down. And remember, if you look at this here, when the price is above the 50-day moving average, it will bring the 50-day moving average toward it like a magnet. When it's below, you can see it will also pull it towards it like a magnet. So you can see when price was below price, the 50-day moving average was moving down, above price, and the 50-day moving average is moving up. Okay, so the third thing that we want to pay attention to, so the first thing, what the golden cross is. Number two, we're looking at that's a lagging indicator. Number three, we're looking at the opportunities to get in the trade. Where would we enter the trade before the golden cross happens? Because we know it's a lagging indicator and we've got to get in before it happens. And then lastly, Bitcoin or SUI, in this case here, comes back and like a magnet comes back into the 50-day moving average for what could possibly be the final retest before it has some big more moves to the upside. Now, of course, this is not the only time in the remainder of this bull run that SUI is going to come down and test the 50-day moving average. But when it does, it's a great buying opportunity. So I have found that after a coin has put in a golden cross, that any retest of the 50-day moving average has tended to be good buying opportunities there. Okay, let's look at another one that has just recently had a golden cross, Solana. Right, same thing here. Who could have shown you how to get into Solana before we had this parabolic move? Here on the Tribal Trades channel, I gave you this trade at 120. I gave the trade here. Quite fortunately, now we see these two together. The 50-day moving average and the 200 EMA are together. So this makes it even easier to trade. It gives you double confirmation of support and resistance lines here. So what we have here is you had the first chance to get in here, a second chance to get in here, and look at this, as easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. Are we seeing a pattern here? Come on, people, look at this. 1, 2, 3. And so we had one chance. I gave this trade at 140. I gave it again at 140. I gave it again at 140. But look, so you had the opportunity to get in at the 50-day moving average. You had an opportunity to get in the 200 EMA, which happened to be close to it, whereas SUI, they were apart. But you had one last opportunity to get it in at the 200 simple moving average before it took off. And I gave this trade at 151. I even gave you a bonus trade to get in at 161 before it gave this parabolic move. Listen, if you're not making money in these markets, you should be, okay? This is really, we're making trading simple again on this channel. We're making it so it's easy for you to get entries and to take profits. And I gave everybody the take profit level up here. If you didn't take profit and this comes all the way back down to you, then, you know, I've given you everything that I can here. There's the take profit level there. It doesn't mean that we're not going to go higher, but certainly let's have a look. Now the golden cross is in, but the move was already in from 120 to up to 180. The move is already in. So now what can we expect? Are we going to see Solana put in a bigger move like SUI? Because SUI put in its golden cross and then it put in a little bit of a move afterwards. Not necessarily, and I'll show you why that's in a minute. So we're going to keep an eye on Solana and see if Solana has any more moves to the upside post golden cross. Post golden cross, SUI put in a bigger move to the upside from about that $1.60, $1.90 region to up to about $2.30. Now, where can we look at getting in on Solana? The place that I'm looking for entry is at the 50-day moving average. It's currently at 152, but by the time Solana comes down, it's probably still not going to be at that 152. It could be up here at 160. It could be up here at 167. So we're looking for our next entry for Solana to be an ideal entry at the 50-day moving average. Now, of course, if it comes down to the 161 level, certainly I don't have a problem with jumping in there and jumping in on the trade and then adding some more to the trade if we do happen to, because we could come down to 160 and sit around there for a while and all the way along the 50-day moving average comes up to meet it. So let's look at another altcoin that also, we'll look at one more altcoin and then we'll look at the setups. So Potenza Tau. Okay, again, who could have predicted this? Who could have shown you this? That down here, gave the trade here at 162. I gave the trade here again in the 200s levels. We had a few opportunities to get in. One here, two here. Oh, look, 3. Simple as ABC, 1, 2, 3. Are you seeing the theme? There were like 3 final touches of the 50-day moving average. Then were the next opportunities to get in. Right here on the 200 EMA on the daily, I gave the trade again. And then the final place to get in before it went parabolic was at the 200 simple moving average at about $390. And that was the last place before it took off. Now we have a bull flag here, and we're going to have a bigger move to the top. Now, we could consolidate inside this bull flag for a little while, but we are going to see a violent move up to around $1,000 here for Potenza Tau. So as you can see, we had 3 touches of the 50-day moving average. That was our first area to get in. Our second area to get in was at the 200 EMA on the daily. Our last area to get in was on the 200 simple moving average. There's the golden cross. Now, I want you to notice something a little bit different here. The golden cross here happens, and Tau has put in its move to the $680 level up here already. So when this happens, the top of the move has already happened. And it does go on to repeat this top of the move, but we don't get any higher than we did when we had the golden cross. So for SUI, when the golden cross happened, we saw more move to the upside before we came back to the 50-day moving average. For Potenza Tau, when the golden cross happens, the move had already been into completion. It had already done its move from 160 all the way up to $600.80. Of course, we hit it again, but we didn't go past this candle here. So now, look what we see here. It's come back down, lo and behold, to the 50-day moving average. So that's why I'm saying with Solana, is the Solana move finished? Is it going to be like Potenza Tau, where by the time the golden cross came in, the move was finished, and we're going to see a pullback, or is Solana going to push forward like it did with SUI? When the golden cross happened with SUI, then SUI put in a bigger move. And this is why I've been adding some Potenza Tau around this area. Now, of course, it can break down a little bit. It can go under. It can trade under a little bit. We could even come back to this $475 line. It doesn't mean this move has failed. I just see this as an ideal entry. Of course, you can be putting some stop losses below this, because if we were to break below here and reject against this $475 line, then most certainly we could come back and retest the 410 level, or come back and retest the 200 simple moving average there at 380. But I'm just sharing simply, we do see it come back to at least the 50-day moving average, as we have done here. So the trade here would have been after it comes in. Of course, we don't know. It was like SUI. It could have gone up even higher to $700, $800 before it came back. But we know that it does come back and look at retesting this 50-day moving average here, as it has with Tau. Now look at 3 possible setups that I'm going to give you. The first one has already happened. It's DOGE, but the golden cross hasn't happened. Okay, the golden cross hasn't happened. But let's see it here. We've got the trade. One opportunity there. One opportunity to get in the trade here, a second opportunity here, and then a third opportunity here. Oh my goodness, what are we seeing? A theme. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, and then the next opportunity. And I gave you these 10-4. I gave you on 3 separate days. I shared this phrase. You can go back and look at these videos on these dates. That I said to get in it's 10-4 on the 10-4. 10-4 on the 10-4. And 10-4 is a term like 10-4 over and out. Yep, that's good. Okay. 10-4 on the 10-4. And so I gave you 10-4 on the 10-4. I then gave you the 200 EM on the daily as about 11.7 or 11.8 cents to get on the trade there on a successful break and retest. We got that. And then the last opportunity, there it is, the 200 simple moving average. And you didn't just get one opportunity to get on this trade. If you missed it here and here, you got another opportunity to get in the trade at 12.8. And then we saw this parabolic move to the upside. The golden cross is about to happen. You can see it here. The 50-day moving average is at 12.1 cents, and the 200 simples at 12.7. But this is moving down and this is moving up. Okay. And so therefore, this is moving up. This is starting to curve to the upside, but it's been moving down, and this is going to move up a whole lot quicker. And it's going to go over just over the next couple of days, over the weekend. The question is now, has most, and this is why I'm not getting in this trade right now, because as we've seen from Potenza Tau, Solana, the move has stalled, and we could now see it come back. So where would be the next place to enter for this Doge trade is looking to win this 50-day moving average. Now, of course, you could be risky and front run it and enter here at 4.7 or 4.8. You could still get a little bit of a bounce. We may still have a move to the upside to 20 because we haven't had the golden cross yet. The move might not be finished, and we could have one final push up here to 20. But certainly for me, this was a successful trade for me from here to here, and I'm good. And now I'm looking for other trades. And certainly if there is another push to the upside, that's totally fine. Profit is profit. Nobody ever lost money taking profit, people. Just remember that. And so as we can come down here, are we going to see a move down to the 50 moving average? By the time that it does come down, first of all, we need to see a golden cross. Second, we need to see, is there going to be a move after the golden cross? There could well be a move after the golden cross like happened for Sui up to 20. We might come back, retest this first, and then push up. I may think about getting in the trade here. There's also an opportunity to get in the trade if it comes back to the 50-day moving average. Okay, so let's look at two more coins, Ethereum, and then one more, and then we're going to wrap this up. So what have we seen here with Ethereum? Oh, look, I gave you this trade back here at around 2,300 when we hit the 200 simple moving average on the weekly. But where is the opportunities to get into this trade? There's an opportunity to get in at 1 here, 2. We may get one more chance over here. You could count this as an opportunity to get in at 1, 2, and 3. So maybe this is 1, 2, 3. It's already happened. Or maybe there'll be one more opportunity. We have a golden cross coming up. We got the 50-day moving average coming up, and we got the 200 simple coming down. So here is a setup for you, and I'm going to give you one more setup after this. So the entry points are here at the 50-day moving average at 2,500. The second entry point would be a break and a retest of 2780 or whatever this 200 EMA on the daily is. And your third entry is going to be here at 2900. Of course, if you're in this trade, you could also take profit here, or I would be moving my stop loss up, because I feel that unless, and look, this can all be invalidated, by the way, if Bitcoin just dumps, and it could delay this golden cross process from happening, and set your stop losses, because you might be stopped out of trades there, and that can be a good thing. But certainly 1, 2, 3 entry, and then obviously off to the races. And I would think that we would come fairly rapidly up to this 3,400 level, or even this $3,700 level there as the golden cross happens. And I'm going to give you one more trade here, and then we're going to wrap it up. And the trade is bonk. And as we can see, very similar pattern happening here. There's the 50-day moving average. 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe this isn't quite there. So 1, 2, third opportunity here happening right here. As we saw with Solana, these two were together, the 200 EMA and the 50-day moving average. If you didn't get the trade here, which I gave, and if you didn't get the trade here, which I did give, even though I don't think it quite got there, here was the next place that I gave the trade. Here's the opportunity here. Of course, you can set a stop loss there. You can choose your stop loss area, maybe just under this wick here at about 19 cents, or maybe not 19 cents, 40192. So just underneath that, maybe 40189 or something like that for a stop loss. That could invalidate that. And it is going to happen, by the way. It's just whether or not Bitcoin kind of dumps a little bit down, and then we have to go back underneath it and wait for it to break back above. But whenever you see this break and a successful retest, if you want confirmation, you can also wait for it to break above the 200 simple moving average at 4 zeros and 23. That will be probably your last chance to get in. But of course, as we saw with Doge, it did give you one more opportunity to get in. And then I would see a pretty powerful move up to this 28 to 30. That's 4 zeros and 28 and 30, and then all the way up to 34. But we do see this golden cross lagging indicator. It's about to happen. There's the trades I've given you. Ethereum has a setup. Bonk has a setup. If you see any other setups like this that have a golden cross impending, and you see these touches on the 50-day moving average, 200 EMA, hit me up below in the comments. Give me a shout out. I will check out those coins, and maybe we will cover it on a different show in the coming days. All right, well, that's it for today. Again, thank you all for tuning in. As always, until the next episode, happy trading.